Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on movies and stuff. Today's video is on Chaos Walking, a sci-fi film starring two major actors from two major franchises, the stunning Daisy Ridley from the Star Wars franchise and the amazing Tom Holland from Disney's Marvel's Spider-Man. That is a lot of separations. In the not too distant future, Todd Hewitt stumbles into Viola, a mysterious woman who crash lands onto his planet after all the women have disappeared and the men are afflicted by the strange force only referred to as the noise, which displays their thoughts in the real world. In this uncharted, dangerous landscape, Viola's life is threatened, and Todd has to help her find a safe way home while at the same time uncovering secrets of his own. Now I'm definitely gonna hand this over to Guy 1 and Guy 2 as I'm sure they have so much to say. But before we get into that, why don't you go ahead and hit that big red button? Yeah, that's right, subscribe. We're trying to reach a total of 1,000 subscribers and we're almost halfway there. So we'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and you shared this video with your friends so they can subscribe as well. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. And if you'd like to show some more support, consider becoming a bro by becoming a patron. Patrons get early access, behind the scenes content, and all sorts of other perks. So come on down and let us hold $1. All done? Great. On with the show. Chaos Walking. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger waste of talent since... This is the biggest waste of talent I have ever seen. I wouldn't say that. Well, what would you say? I would say that they did a good job. Of course they did a great job. It's Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, and Mads Mikkelsen. Two faces from two of the most successful franchises, alright? And one actor who notoriously plays villains so much that I knew he was going to be the bad guy before everything was out. Are you saying Mikkelsen isn't iconic? Hey, Mikkelsen is nothing but iconic. Never insinuate that I've said something like that ever again. That man is a legend. Just making sure. Well, now you know. But we digress. Please, it's a bunch of white people trying to colonize something that doesn't belong to them. Again, Avatar with no blue people. Cowboy Bebop with no bebop. You know what? Backdrop some Ennio Morricone and call it a day. Figure it out. You figure it out. Nick Jonas, though. Normally, I'd always be happy to see him, but once again, just wasted talent. He also didn't get much screen time. Damn shame. But I loved the, setting. I loved the premise of the film. A settlement where all the women had died and all the men's thoughts can be seen and heard. And calling it noise was apt. Unfortunately, it's once again tied to what makes this film fall flat in its face. For example, why is the mayor so good at controlling his noise? They never really say. My point exactly. Yeah, that is a good point. In fact, from what I can tell, all the older men seem to have a much easier time controlling their noise, and they never really say why. Well, maybe because unlike Todd and the other young boys and men, they were born with the noise. Remember how Todd uses his noise to scare the mayor's son's horse? A very impressive feat indeed. You could see that as a different kind of proficiency. An exceptionally good point. They should have let you write the movie. Jeez, stop it. But that begs the question. If Todd showed such proficiency with his noise when scaring the mayor's son, why did he never show that kind of ability again? Well, he does at the end. No, what he does at the end can be considered an explosion of skill. He was good, but he was not that good. That right there is just a textbook case of a deus ex machina. I disagree. He had always shown that kind of potential. It was within his reach. All right, I'll give you that. But why would he use images of women to defend himself against Prentice? Todd had never seen a woman. Heck, not enough to at least have been able to project an entire crowd of them. He saw the women from Farbranch. I'm sure that's... He barely saw them for what? 2 days? His mother I can allow. But you're gonna tell me that he managed to project an entire powwow of women when he was struggling to keep his mental boners of one woman in check? Okay, you have a point there. Yeah, surprised they didn't all come out like Naruto's sexy jutsu. Which reminds me, why would they go as far as killing all the women in the settlement? Yes, the planet makes the noise and the noise only affects the men, but is that really a good enough reason to go out of your way to kill all the women? The preacher made them do it. No, he's only one man. It would take a group. I'm sorry, I just don't see how they could squad up, kill all the women, and then lie about it. Maybe they were afraid of Mayor Prentice. But why? I'm sure they would have all had something against him after his random femicide. There's no reason for them to be loyal to him. He doesn't even have much to show for his leadership. Maybe his very impressive control of his noise. So maybe he was also crazy. Also crazy? Well, the one thing I kept thinking to myself was, if the thoughts are being projected, what would the thoughts of somebody with mental illness look like? The misogynistic preacher with his church nonsense. Yeah, maybe he was severely mentally ill. Religious nuts who claim to hear the words of God tend to have a few screws loose. That is a good point. I wonder why that didn't occur to me. I'm smart too. Sure. What? Let's talk about his death. Why doesn't Todd get the chance to kill him? Because Todd's not a killer. You don't practice throwing a knife that well to get your butt handed to you for over an hour 30. Viola killing the preacher gives him a sort of thematic catharsis due to all of the women he had killed in his past. Yeah, but Todd doesn't even get to avenge his dog or his mother. And I guess that makes the movie a little bit more realistic. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't able to kill. That boy was ready. How was he ready? He lost every fight he was in. That just means that he sucked, not that he wasn't ready. I like that because it gave them an opportunity to show that Viola isn't a damsel in distress. Anytime she was in trouble, she didn't have any problem defending herself. Yeah, but now Todd doesn't even get an opportunity to save anyone or to even get revenge. Heck, he doesn't even get to save himself. And that would have been nice to see, considering he's the protagonist, you know, just to have one heroic moment. He doesn't have to save Viola, but he could have at least just won one fight. He lost all of them, right? Well, he technically won the fight against the Spackle. Oh, yes! Yes, he did! And bruh, what was up with the Spackle? I mean, we see one of them for like, what, 2 minutes? But they were native to the planet, and they also seemed to produce noise. Yes, but they know that humans exist. We saw that with how they reacted to Todd. Fair enough. But no attempts at communication? Not even Farbranch had seemed to set up any form of communication or trade between the Spackle, and I find that weird, considering that they're native to the planet. White people colonizing more stuff that don't belong to them. And they could have set up communications considering both species produce noise. We could have communicated through images and not necessarily words. You know what? I think you should have written this movie. Oh my god, stop it. We also got a sneak peek at how Tom Holland will make for a great Nathan Drake when Todd went to go fix the antenna on the wrecked ship. Yes! My faith in the live-action Uncharted movie has been slightly boosted. Ba 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 ba. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Was Chaos Walking a head start on a new sci-fi adventure? Or was it just a walking mess? As much as I enjoyed it, it falls flat on its face with absolutely no shame. I couldn't look away from it, that's true. I watched it from start to finish and I was engaged because it has potential. But it does nothing with the tools that it has. The only time you actually come across the term Chaos Walking in the film is at the beginning, on a title quote. Yay. And said quote seems to imply that there's some sort of like filter that helps with the noise, and that if you don't have the filter, you shouldn't be trusted because no one can hear your thoughts, and you don't ever get to see any evidence of that in the film. I also felt that Todd Hewitt should have died at the end of the film. Yes, it's a bit dark, and yes, it would have made him a martyr of sorts, but at the same time, he didn't have much else to live for. His family was dead, and he had nothing to his name. He had also completed his character arc. I'm not a psychopath, relax. I also feel his thoughts betrayed his actions, which is exactly what you would expect to happen in a world where you can hear somebody's thoughts. But Todd's thoughts throughout the film consistently give this idea that he's some sort of repressed pervert. And maybe that was done to cause some friction between him and Viola, or sometimes for comedic effect, but it truly betrays just how much gold his heart is worth. He was a really good kid, and the film doesn't really communicate that effectively, as far as I'm concerned. Another thing I enjoyed but couldn't quite explain was why everything was so Western. The movie channels a lot of cowboy energy, and really the only thing missing was a duel at noon in the town square. But even in the scenario of a failed attempt at trying to colonize a new planet, why would we regress into cowboys? Culture, language, diversity, history, all thrown out the window for some good old cowboy spitting and some lack of diversity. All in all, IMDb gave this film a 5.7, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 22%, which I think is a bit mean. It did better than 22%. I, on the other hand, give this film a 2.7 out of 5. With a few changes, it could have easily been a 3. And in the hands of the right production team, it could have easily gone to a 4. And although this film doesn't do very well with myself or the critics, I did enjoy the story, and I would like to see like a sequel of sorts, or some sort of extension to the universe. But then again, I guess I could just read the book the movie's based on, so yay for that. But that's all from me, guys. If you liked this video, smash that like button. If you hated this video, smash that like button even harder. I'm not saying that, it feels weird. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you absolutely hated this video, give it an even bigger thumbs up. As I said earlier, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. After that, go on down to our Patreon and let us hold $1. I have no idea what the next video is going to be on. I guess follow me on my socials to stay up to date. Though I will see you again next Thursday for some more thoughts on some more content. See you later, bros. Bye-bye.